Hey, boss. Hey, how are you today? It's your girl, Lashonda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. Always excited to share things you can do to work on your money, marketing, and sales goals too, with strategy and intention. So, we are on day 21 of the Position to Profit series. Essentially, every day for 30 days, I'm taking you inside the fabulous free Position to Profit self assessment, which you can download over at sistersense.com/PTPSA. So, for the next couple of days, we are going to talk about processes that pay money, number one, and then number two, processes that pay off. So if you're consistent and you do them, you will see in the long run they can work for you when it comes to your business growth goals. So all right, y'all, let's do this. As always, feel free to share this out. Sharing is caring. That's what it's all about. Tag your business besties who also want to learn about monetization, marketing, and sales, systems, and style. And if you're catching me on the replay side, you can always drop into the comment box, replays rock. So let us dig into the first question of the processes section. As I mentioned before, Position to Profit, the self-assessment, is divided into 6 sections. And now we're going to talk about processes. Now, for each question, you got to ask yourself yes or no. And when you say no, you give yourself 5 points. The more points you have, the more you see those things that you need to strategically be working on in your business. Hey, Jacqueline, welcome. Awesome. So, all right, y'all, let's do this. Hey, welcome. I can't see your name, but awesome to see you here, my dear. Sad that I can't see your name, but I appreciate you for catching us live. So today's question is, do you have a process for creating webinars or hosting virtual events? For me, those are creating webinars. Honestly, number one, it pays when I do paid webinars. Number two, it can also work for you when you do promotional webinars to showcase what you have. And I love to host virtual events. They serve my community, and then I'm able to monetize them. Number 3. So I see Jacqueline says it's a real game changer. I used to get a real game changer that I used to get new clients. Okay, gotcha. And so what I want to do today is I want you to think about that. If you're an infopreneur, if you're online and you're trying to monetize and make money, do you have processes in place that allow you to work on either webinars and other types of virtual events that work for you? On Wednesdays, I do clarity calls with clients, and actually one of my clients is getting ready to speak at a virtual event. So for her session, an hour, we worked on her basically letting me know the presentation and me sharing recommendations on how she could lay it out, do her introduction, integrate different offers that she has, because it is a process, right? But one of the things that I can share with you are as follows. One thing that I said to her once we got it all down is, I don't know if you know this, but you can go into Canva and you can put your presentation in Canva. And not only can you create presentations in the platform, but you can record them. And she was like, what? I was like, absolutely. So you can actually go in there, and when you're in the presentation, when you're in that Canva file, click the 3 dots, go to present or present and record. And I said, do that so you can practice before you go live. Number 1, practice makes perfect, right? Number 2, I know a lot of people when it comes to doing virtual events or going live, doing webinars, Zoom is the end all be all. Me personally, I'm not really, dare I say it, a Zoom kind of a girl. And one of my clients said that, for various reasons right now, doing visual isn't necessarily ideal for her. So she loves when I do my mastermind. She said, Lashonda, when you do your mastermind, you're always doing presentations and we kind of hear you and see the screen, but we don't necessarily have to see you. And I was like, yeah, I use the Start Meeting platform when I do those webinar presentations. I absolutely love Start Meeting. I've been using them for years. So having particular tools that you can use, number 1, if you're just starting out when it comes to webinars, not even hosting your own, but maybe speaking at other people's events, coming up with a process to come up with your presentation, number 1, but then also practicing the presentation, number 2, things that you need to do, right? I was talking to one of my entrepreneurial mentees, and she said, oh my gosh, Lashonda, I just kind of go down a rabbit hole and I get stuck with all of these parts. And, it just really takes me a long time. And so I want you to think about for yourself, If you do have questions, feel free to reach out to me because I do webinars all day, every day. And I work with a lot of my mentees to help them put their presentations together and figure out a process that's going to work for them. Feel free to email sistasense@gmail.com if you have questions. Now, as I mentioned before, this is day 21 of our Position to Profit conversation. And so for the next couple of days, I'm going to continue to point out different processes that you should be having in place in your business and making sure that they're working for you. And as I mentioned before, having more webinar sessions and virtual sessions is definitely something you got to do. So if you don't have processes that are paying and paying off, I want you to think about how you can work that in. I shared a few resources with you today. Don't know, and feel free to let me know out of curiosity how many of you knew that you could do presentations in Canva and record the audio. Number one, that's if you're doing pre-recorded, but if you want to go live doing something like Start Meeting. Number two, but of course, I'm always here every day going live with you via the StreamYard platform over on sistasense.com/SY. You could actually try out StreamYard, which is what I do to use my live streams every day. So multi-broadcast across Facebook and YouTube and Periscope and all the things, right? And that's, if you did want to try it out through me, sistasense.com/SY. So those are a few tools that I recommended today. And I also posed a few questions that I want you to think about as well. And again, as I mentioned before, if you do want to check in with me for support, direction, or to schedule a clarity call, you can always email sistasense@gmail.com. Hey, what's the link? For their Start Meeting, there's Canva, and I mentioned StreamYard, which is sistasense.com/SY. I'm assuming that's what you were referring to, but you can let me know if it was something else that I mentioned. Jacqueline says, I would rather use Start Media. It's actually Start Meeting, MEETING. Because Zoom is overused. I know everybody's using Zoom. Would you put a link to your webinar platform in the site? Would you put a link to your webinar platform? I use StreamYard to do my live streams too. Awesome. Yeah, so those are the 3 links that I shared with you. Hopefully you find those are helpful and you guys can check in with me if you have any questions. So short, sweet, we'll talk about other processes over the course of the next few days. So don't forget, turn on alerts and notifications so you can see when I'm live, so you can jump on here live with me. All right, y'all. Mwah. Till tomorrow. Take care.